Homework in Chapter 3. Ready? Oh, here. Homework in Chapter 3. I'll now turn that light off because it puts a little glare on the screen. Chapter 3 homework. Okay, I just seconds ago finished the Chapter 2 homework coverage. Let me get rid of this and close this window. No, I do not. Oh, close that window. And let me show you the homework. Go back down here to Chapter 3. In 3A, C, and D. You'll notice I skip around a lot. I take a long time to decide which homework assignments to give. Some of them I feel like the opening questions are always, express in your own words what an adjusted R-square is. And I say, we're not going to do those. So I pick these very specifically, but that also means you need to be a little careful when you're doing the homework to make sure you're doing the ones that it lists up there. On Chapter 3, question number 3, do liberal arts colleges pay economists more than they pay other professors? To find out, we looked at a sample of 2,929 college faculty members, built a model, and so here's the model they built. There, focus, focus. I wonder if I need a bit more light. Let me turn on another light back there. It's getting dark right now. Okay. All right. They've got here the salary of the college professor as a function of, are they male or otherwise? Are they African American or otherwise? What is the years in rank of the ith professor? I'll tell you about that in a minute. And a dummy variable equal to 1 if the professor teaches econ and 0 otherwise. All right, the first thing they want you to do is to explain the meaning of coefficient m. And so you do just like you always do in chapters 1 and 2. You very carefully explain the meaning of that coefficient. All right, so do that. On C, is R a dummy variable? If not, what is it? All right, so explain what that means right there. And years in rank, okay, well, the number of years they've been there. That's actually not exactly what it means, but for this assignment, it's not going to make any difference. D, what's your conclusion? Do economists earn more than other professors at liberal arts colleges? So you've got to look back up at the equation and see what was estimated and say whether or not you believe that the results suggest that economists earn more than other professors. All right, 5. Oh yeah, it starts on this page. The GRE, the Graduate Record Exam subject test in economics, was a multiple choice measure of the knowledge and analytical ability of those trying to get into the econ department, econ PhD programs. Let's see, like the SAT, some people argued it was biased against women and some ethnic groups. To test this possibility, the GRE subject test in economics, that it was biased, somebody ran the following regression. Okay. Turn this light off. The GRE score as a function of whether or not they were male or otherwise, their incoming econ GPA, then their score on the math portion of the SAT, and then their score on the verbal portion of the SAT, all right? So they used all that to try to explain their GRE scores. Now, which parts did John Harvey ask you to answer? A, B, and D, all right? Once again, A, carefully explain the meaning of the coefficient. And, you know, as always, you want to be very careful about expressing the exact units it's measured in so that you can get the clear significance of that variable. B, does this prove that the GRE is biased against women? And I know what I would say there. Yeah. Okay. I know what I would say there. Okay, so he's trying to trick you in B by using that fourth word. Look at the fourth word in the question. He's trying to trick you by using that word. I want to tell you that. Yeah, all right, so I won't say any more about that. Now, let's see, part D is in dog. Oh yeah, here's another good one. All right, I like this question. D, that's why I asked it. Suppose that the authors had defined their gender variable as G equals a dummy variable 1 for female and 0 otherwise. What would the estimated equation in 3.9 have been in that case, all right? And it tries to help you out here. Only the intercept and coefficient of the dummy variable will change. So you got to go back through and think to yourself, what if G had been 1 for female instead of 1 for male? Really good question. You got to sit and think about it for a minute. And I think what you need to bear in mind with that is that when you have a dummy variable, like that, let's say we have some relationship y equals alpha plus beta x. All right. Let's say you have some relationship like this. All right. A dummy variable is saying that, whichever one is the 1, whichever one is the 0 is going to be this one. Whichever one is the 1 is going to be either above or below it, but parallel with a different intercept. All right, so remember that. Go back to the lecture and the book and remember that. And that's why they're saying that the coefficient and the intercept will be affected. Great question. All right, number 7, B, D, E, and F. So you're going to run another regression here. 7B. All right, this one's about buying iPhones on eBay? Yeah, eBay. And it starts with B. All right. Okay. The first one I wanted you to focus on was B, where it says, you need to hypothesize the signs of your equation. Assume that you choose the following specification. What signs do you expect for the coefficients of new, scratch, and bidders? So you need to explain whether you think it's going to be positive or negative, or you're uncertain, and why. All right. Then the next one is D. Yeah, that's right. I skipped C. Okay. D. Now you go ahead and estimate it. Over here, sorry. You were hypothesizing. I think it's this. And notice it's got the stochastic error term at the end. You're thinking, I think that's the actual true equation. Over here, you've actually got a regression result. You've run it now. And do the estimated coefficients correspond to your expectations? So it's real simple in here. You're saying whether or not you got the signs you expected on part D. And then what's next? E. Where am I? Yeah. The sixth step is to document your results. Okay, now this is a nice question here. That's missing something that you would normally, what do you call it? Not explain, include, I guess, include. It's missing an important number. So have a look at that and figure out what important number it's missing. And that's all you have to do in E is say what it is that's missing. And then in F, not optional in our class, you're going to run the regression. All right? And then you can also tell the value that was missing in the other part. Let's see. Oh, but I said no need to answer the question. That's right. So you don't need to answer the question for part F. All you need to do is to run the regression. Okay, let's do that again real quick. So let me go back to that page that has all the data on it. We're in chapter 3. I'm going to click here. I'm not going to bother to what do you call it in an Excel file? I'm sorry, in a zip file. To extract. I'm not going to bother to extract. And there's the data set right there, iPod 3. And John Harvey is such a great instructor that he included that in the homework itself. It does say it's iPod 3. All right, so let's double click on that. And there it is. All right, so it's already loaded it all up. I got to say, some things I don't like about Stata, but this aspect of it, man, it's easy. We're just double clicking on this and pulling up. So all the data is already in there. I'm going to show you that in just a second. But first of all, let's go ahead and do the assignment. The assignment is to run the regression with price as a function of new, scratch, and bidders. So remember that, let's see, you got to do RAG for regression. It's price, and I'm going to type it in this time. And remember, it's case sensitive. Remember, I told you in the last video, I learned that you can hit the tab key and it brings up all the variable names. The next one is new. Then scratch. Then bidders. Enter. And so there are the regression results. Once again, you would block, copy. Well, let's first make sure it's right. Okay, so we want to look back at the actual answer in the book in part D, and I'm just going to pick a couple of things here. I'm going to pick the coefficient on new to double check, which is 54.99, and the coefficient on scratch, which is negative 20.44. And I'll see if it had those. Okay, so let's see. On new, 54.99, 54.986. That's it. And on scratch, negative 20.44, negative 20.441. That's it. So we must have done it right. All right, so I'm not going to worry about double checking every single number. The odds against it being coincidentally the same are astronomical. I'm going to go up here till I copied all the way to where it says license to John Harvey. I'm going to right click, copy as picture. I'm going to go into where I'm preparing my homework answers and do Control V, and there it is. So that's all you had to do to earn those points on that question, on those 2 points there on 7F. Now, I mentioned something here. If you want to click on this top left, and we will need this later, so I thought I might show this right now. On the top up here, there's looks like a little spreadsheet with a pencil over the top of it. That is called, let me look at it again, the data editor, okay? I'm going to click on that. Oops, I clicked on the toolbar rather than that. Hang on. That's where all the data are. All right, so if you ever wanted to look at the data, you click on that and it lists all the data for you. And there's the data for price, for new, for scratch, for bidders, and for percent, all right there. If you wanted to change any of the data, you could do that right here. But that's where that is, and that will come up in a later homework. So I thought I would show you that while we're on this question. And that's it for Chapter 3. All right, I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on again and do Chapter 4.